Surprise, surprise, we've got yet another duplicate one of one from NFL Panini. This time it is a 2017 Panini Phoenix rookie card of Patrick Mahomes. It is the fifth or sixth duplicate one of one we've now talked to for Panini Football. It is getting more alarming because this is once again in a BGS slab and once again was sold on PWCC's platform. We need answers on this. I'm going to take you through the facts of the situation because we're no closer to actually getting an answer as to what the heck has happened with all the other duplicate one of ones we've discussed. I talked recently how PWCC got in contact with me, but they've essentially ghosted me for the last 7 to 8 weeks on this situation, which is not filling me with a whole lot of confidence. And this is, insane to have 5 or 6 duplicate one of ones go through BGS, go through PWCC is very scary to me, and it might indicate that some other hanky-panky is potentially going on, in the background. But to give you the context, a subscriber reached out to me and said, Daniel, I won this Patrick Mahomes Nike one of one back in July, and after winning it and paying for it, the $8,000 as you can see on screen, did a bit more research and found out there's actually one other one listed on eBay, and it's this one over here. So initially when they saw this, they got a bit concerned, saying, "Is this one fake? Did the one I buy is fake? What the heck is going on?" They did a bit more research and saw that again both are obviously graded by Beckett. They talked to this person, this seller I should say, who indicated where they bought the card from a number of years ago, and are now comfortable that they both are from Panini, but it raises lots of questions. Now, very quickly, you guys might ask the question, well, how can you confirm these are in fact different cards and maybe someone's copied one? Are they the same card? Are they just two listings, etc.? Well, no. The one on PWCC, pay attention to the position of the Nike tag. It's basically in the middle of the square, and then pay attention to the gap between Patrick and Mahomes over here. You jump to the one on eBay, the logo is clearly, more towards the top left of the patch window. And then the gap here between Patrick and Mahomes is also much bigger than what you're seeing here, which, highlights once again that Panini have basically shit the bed on this. And it doesn't make sense how this can continue to happen, especially with NFL product. It's just really crazy to me. Now, just to quickly show you that there is, in fact, only meant to be one of these Nike logo one of ones. You can see here there's an orange out of 50 for this insert, a yellow prime out of 49, a green out of 10, a blue super prime one of one, a laundry tag brand logo, which the brand being, Nike. Then you've got the laundry tag NFL players logo, which is just going to be the piece from the laundry tag, and then also the NFL shield itself, which, pretty clearly shows once again that there's only meant to be one of these Nike swooshes because that is the brand logo one of one. Now, similar to what we discussed for the Lamar Jacksons, as you can see below that I've still shown there, I've done a number of videos on these guys. So if you haven't seen it, please do check them out because this is all part of the same freaking story, it seems. Panini have either done something really stupid where they've accidentally made two one of ones, i.e. exactly the same. So maybe this blue super prime one of one, it's typically meant to be a piece of the team logo. They've accidentally made that the Nike logo, but then they've also done the Nike logo over here, right? Which looks like maybe that's what they've done for the others. Or somebody has noticed that something has gone wrong out at Panini and they've stuffed up one of the patches and they've decided to patch swap it themselves, which, sounds a bit crazy, but it's not out of the realm of possibility given the number we've seen now. We're talking about 5 or 6. And whilst this one isn't an NFL shield like we saw with the other examples, if I go back to the patch window, it's quite small, so it'd be difficult to fit the NFL shields that we've seen previously in there. So if somebody's gone around and played games here and tried to do this patch swap, then maybe they decided to put the Nike logo in there to try and save face. Now, one thing that is interesting on this is with the patch swaps in the NFL logos that we've discussed previously, one of the duplicates always looked like it had a far dodgier looking shield, right? The kinds of shields you saw out of jerseys that are coming out of things like Alibaba, etc. So that gave us some comfort or further evidence that maybe they were patch swapped by someone that, just took a shirt off the shelf and decided to try and scam someone out of some money. This one, it's sort of hard to tell because both Nike logos, look very similar. If I bring my screen back up again for another time, you can sort of see the texture of the background and sort of the texture of the tick itself. They look very similar. Yes, this one looks like a slightly different texture. It's probably hard to see on my screen, but for the most part, it looks pretty on the money, in my opinion. I'm not an expert on these cards or anything like that, but it just seems very odd. So, we've once again got some duplicate one of ones from football, and we need an answer from Panini, but then also PWCC, because this is insane to me. It's insane to have this many, because how many more are out there? What the heck happened in 2017 football, 2018 football to see so many of these things pop up? Is it a syndicate? Is somebody out at Panini or were at Panini during that time doing this sort of stuff in the background. Like, this is just crazy to me. And it's sort of made even worse when they're all in BGS slabs, and BGS do not offer a guarantee over this sort of stuff. So again, if you've paid big money for this, you're a little bit, screwed. So I'm really hoping I can get an answer from PWCC for this collector. Given what they've discussed to me in the past, they're going to try and help these collectors that do purchase these things through their auction house, because they've once again in the listing stated it is the only one of one. It's a true masterpiece, like we laughed about it in the prior listing. It's just crazy to me. One of the things that the subscriber reached out to me with their concerns, he basically said we spoke to the eBay seller and they no, it's no longer a one of one, but they've not changed their listing or anything like that, which each to their own. But again, I'm keen to get your thoughts on this, because it's the fifth or sixth one we've now seen. This is, insane. I'm like no longer surprised about being surprised, if that makes sense. I'm sort of tired of it, because it's just happening every other week now. Somebody messages me with something like this, and it's like, guys, what the heck is going on? And you could be saying, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is people are paying big money for these kinds of things, whether you agree with that or not, and they're stuck with something that's not a true representation of what it is they were buying, or what it is it was being advertised for sale, right? It was being listed as a true one of one, a masterpiece, the only one you're ever going to see. And it's just crazy to me. And for those of you that maybe don't believe me that wording is there, once again, it's right there. One of one masterpiece, only copy ever made. Hang on a minute, there's two of them, which is, pretty funny, but not funny. It's funny because of how stupid and surreal the whole situation is. So let me know your thoughts down below. And then also just quickly, I did a live earlier today. You would have seen this 24 hours after, but a few things I did misspeak on in that video, just based on all the information that was coming out and me talking. I think my general point was on the money, but there were some things I maybe misspoke on throughout the video. So I'll put a comment down there on those videos to make it pretty crystal clear. So if you haven't seen that, please do check it out. This card porn situation, like I said, it's getting crazier by the day, as is the case with these duplicate one of ones. So it is what it is. I'm really keen to get your guys' thoughts on this. Let me know once again what you think about my Back to the Future figures on the shelf. That Marty, you can see there from Back to the Future Part 3, is very new. That wasn't there yesterday. I finally got around to unboxing it. I've got one more figure to come, which is the Doc from Back to the Future Part 3 as well. That's meant to have been released back in March, but there's some delays with that. So you won't see that on the shelf for a little while longer, but I'm pretty happy to finally have the whole set. Very expensive hobby, Hot Toys and those kinds of collectibles. Had somebody message me and say, well, that thing cost you $835 USD, that DeLorean. It actually cost me $900 Australian. We get things obviously a lot cheaper down here for this kind of thing. I shouldn't say obviously, I don't know why I said that. But again, it's still very expensive, but it's one of those things, right? For those of you that are out there that are collectors, which I assume you all are, there's some things you're going to buy along the way that will stay with you forever. And that's those kinds of things, right? They remind me of my childhood. They're really cool to look at. Not everything has to be a card or a comic book that's on your shelf. Like stuff like this is cool to walk into a room and look at it, interact with when you're, bored. Yes, it is a bit of a nerd thing to do. Yes, I am a bit of a loser for having them, but I like being a nerd. I like being a loser. It is what it is. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.